Hello everyone, my name is Kaveh Rostanpour and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Planhat. Today we're going to have a conversation about the big update to the Planhat platform, and I'm here with Chris, who's our CCO, and Daniel, who heads up our products. This update really means two things. One is that there's a big set of new capabilities with ease of use at the center. And two, it's that we're enabling, this update is enabling Planhat to launch products outside of the traditional customer management and customer success. Today, however, we're going to speak about the first, the new capabilities and what they really mean for our users. We're going to speak about workspaces, about the new portals, Data Explorer, new search, and of course, we're going to speak a lot about AI. Ever since we started Planhat, we've been building a platform not just for customer success teams, but for the entire organization. Customer management is really everybody's business. It's company-wide. And customer centricity really starts with enabling everybody in the company to have access to customer data. That's why we've been supporting unlimited user model from the very beginning.
Right, and when we've surveyed our customers, we've seen that while 70% of our users are post-sale people in some form or another, 30% are in product, they're in marketing, they're in finance. And our customer base is B2B SaaS, but it's also healthcare, telco, industrials. And what we've seen is every organization does post-sale differently. Some have an onboarding team, others have a renewals team, others run end-to-end customer management with just a dedicated team. And the complexity has always been when you need to bring together all of these disparate data sets to drive customer outcomes, how do you ensure that the data is personal for each different user and their role and their responsibility? And that's the first problem we're solving with workspaces. It means that you can easily create a Planhat environment dedicated to your role. A CSM logs in and they see the information they need about their portfolio and their workflows, while a manager logs in and they see data at a higher level. It's about personalizing all of these disparate data sets.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Planhat has always been built for power and flexibility first. That's been kind of our trademark. But I think when you have such disparate data all brought together, project management, daily tasks, your calendar, activities, emails, notes that are being logged, next to revenue analytics, who's churning, who's not, ticket data, customer data, usage data, who's logged in. All of this starts to become quite complex from an interface point of view. And Workspaces is really about bringing simplicity to that complexity. And as you said, Chris, it's about ensuring that whoever logs in, they see the thing that they absolutely need to and should to, and nothing else.
And these days in what happens in customer success is, whilst the onboarding team, they may want to log in and see their onboarding workflows next to their onboarding dashboard and whatnot. Sometimes you also run dedicated campaigns on a topic. So you may say, we want to focus on advocates. We want to drive an advocacy campaign. And it's innately cross-functional. Marketing cares, sales cares, CS cares. Well, now you can build a workspace dedicated to it, where you have that pipeline of potential advocates, the workflows you're going to run to drive and nurture them as advocates, and a dashboard to prove outcomes. And everyone who logs into it, that's all they see. It's super simple.
Yeah, and I think that's such a great example, actually, because it signifies this thing that Planhat is not about just being a place where you house all of your data in 1,000 different reports,
right,
but it's about driving action and collaborating to get there together across teams. I mean, we in the product team, we also use Planhat in our own workspace, which I think is fantastic. But this is on the internal collaboration side. How do you work smoother with your team members? Another big part that we've been leading for a long time is around external collaboration, portals. And this is also getting a big upgrade this time.
I'm super excited about this.
Yeah, portals are my favorite. So my my number one product enhancement request for years has been improvements to portals and what we can do there. So improved design capabilities. Absolutely outstanding. So you can create a portal and the customers of our customers, they log in and it's a very consistent experience to what they see when they log into their own vendor's product. User level permissioning in portals so that different users, based on who they are, can access a portal and update data that syncs back to Planhat and drives workflow and activities in Planhat. I mean, these are huge changes. And bigger picture, Portals are, this kind of underpinning concept of what modern customer management is all about. Fundamentally, modern customer management has to be about transparency and collaboration. And what we're changing in Portals now is you can collaborate across the entire life cycle with your customer in ways that really haven't been possible before.
No. I think that's also a good segue into another big part that we're launching, which is documents. And as you said, I think whereas documents are not necessarily new in themselves, we're all used to them for a long time. The way they're being put into the Planhat context means there's something we really haven't seen before, and I think that's mainly for two reasons. So one, because Planhat is where you house all of your workflows, the enablement capabilities of documents, like how do we run a kickoff call, how do we run an onboarding process, what some 5 best tips for when you're going to go into renewal. All of these things, they don't live in a siloed repo somewhere else, but they actually can become part of the kickoff task that someone logs into.
Contextual.
Exactly, it has the context. Yeah. And then secondly, I mean, we've talked a lot about this, like people just love working inside of documents. It's a very nice place to organize your day to day. And that's why we're also bringing all of the power of Planhat into the documents. So you have widgets, you have charts, you have data tables that are live updated. We bring in the AI Copilot that we're going to talk a bit about more later. You can create tasks and create objects from the documents. You can reference to basically any object inside of our documents.
And the fact that you can share a document with your customer or internally, and these live updates, and as you edit this data, it's live. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. They become big part of the portals, which I think is very exciting.
And then we have the Data Explorer.
Yeah, you love the Data Explorer.
Yeah.
So Data Explorer is Data Explorer is very exciting. So what happens in Planhat is we bring together all of this data from your ticketing system, from product analytics, from a data warehouse, from your CRM. And in the real world, that's quite hard to interact with. You need to understand those systems. So with Data Explorer, we wanted a way that non-technical users can very easily interact and make decisions based on the data that's coming together. And that's not been possible before, right? I mean, how many people know how to write a
SQL query?
SQL query, as you always say. Yeah. So now in Planhat, anyone in the organization can do it. And kind of one of our big missions has always been put the power of the customer data in the hands of the users. You shouldn't need to be technical to do this.
In the hands of non-technical users, so that the thinking has always been that if you join a company without having so much context to any technical tools, that you can log into Planhat and start querying data across systems and start using it and take action on it. I love it. I think it's so powerful.
Yeah, well, that's huge.
And then we have AI. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, we are already doing a lot of work around AI, as you know, so we've already kind of come up with this concept to bring your own LLM, where customers can connect Planhat to OpenAI, to Azure, to Google, if they have a preferred LLM provider. And we've also started building out AI agents to run specific processes. So the big first one we've done is obviously the Copilot that you mentioned. We have it for summarizing content, for enhancing written material, and that's really what we see as the future, is that given the data in Planhat, it just makes a ton of sense that you have agents sat on top of it.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're very excited to continue working here, just because Planhat is a very natural home for agents to live in. We have all of the data on your customers from the different systems. It's structured in a way that is comprehensible. You have documentation and enablement in documents and elsewhere. You also run the workflows inside Planhat. And finally, you track the outcomes, especially how the outcomes and metrics you want to follow go over time.
And how they affect your business.
Exactly. And this is kind of the virtuous cycle that you want to close. Like, what kind of actions are driving what kind of outcomes? What kind of email template should you use here? What kind of project should you run towards your high-touch customers versus something else? And this is a fantastic place for agents to start developing in and start to see patterns in what kind of actions are driving towards which kind of outcomes and help you improve based on that.
And this is a big update, right? We just mentioned some of them. Daniel, you guys have been working on this platform out there for a long time. There's a lot of other things. Can you mention some of them?
Yeah, I mean, we won't have time for all of them, but there's a new collaboration drive. There's an entirely new federated search. Obviously a big design.
Design update is the biggest thing, perhaps,
yeah.
that people will see.
Yeah, and because it's a platform upgrade, you're also going to start seeing small things all down to the details of how do you manage outgoing emails in email sequences. You can read more about them in documents.
And you haven't even talked about dark mode. Everyone loves dark mode, Daniel. It's key.
It's great. So we're very excited about this update. So this was just one part of this, right? The other part was around this update enabling Planhat to launch products for outside of customer management. Later this year, our customers can expect the products around professional services, and down the line, many other sort of use cases being powered by the same platform. So thank you guys for joining this conversation, and yeah, thank you for listening in, guys.